Now, 4 through 6. Whew. It got messier. We got to talk about this whole like bean dip situation. So breathe and let's get into it. Now, if you're new here, I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist who specializes in intergenerational trauma, inner childhood issues, and I'm a couples therapist, okay? Now, like, subscribe, show your girl some love, and let's get into these couples, these dynamics. So, I talked a little bit last time about Clay and AD, okay? Now, as their relationship progressed, there are just so many different things that I saw with them that's just like, Clay is not ready. The emotional intelligence is not there. But then also AD is a fixer. And a lot of women fall for the traps of being a fixer because of the facade, the image, the physical appearance, which I think is happening here. I think there's a lot of love there. There's a lot of chemistry, but will they be able to make it? Because when he was talking about her needing to get into the gym, he's not going to let her become overweight. What happened to loving me for who I am as a person, not my size, not my image? And I know people are saying that he is this season's Shake. I don't think he is. I think somebody else is, but we're going to get to that person later. But when it comes to these two, there's so much there to build upon and have a strong relationship. But at the same time, it's a bunch of mess. Clay is somebody to me who has not had an example of what it's like to be in a healthy relationship. It has not been mirrored to him marriage. So he's trying to figure it out on his own as he goes, what he thinks it's supposed to be. But this is what happens when you don't have the proper guidance and mirroring of healthy relationships and marriages. And I know people have been saying that he's giving sassy, he's giving zesty, but as a therapist, I think what is really happening is that sometimes men think vulnerability equals soft. So I think to me, since in his mind, a man's mind, vulnerability is softness, I think he's coming off soft because that's what he thinks vulnerability is. And since once again he has not had married, he has not been to therapy, he probably only has these social constructs, what he has seen on TV and what his mind has come up with about what is vulnerability. So do I think that he is, you know, on the queer spectrum somewhere? I really don't comment about that kind of stuff on my channel because gender is a spectrum, sexuality is a spectrum. That's none of my business. Do what you do, like who you like. Okay, I'm here to get into the therapy aspect of it. But I think it's all about his mindset of like vulnerability equals softness. So I need to match her energy of being a soft woman, being a soft person, but that really isn't what vulnerability is. So he has a misconstrued conception of what vulnerability is. So that is just my idea of what's going on. I don't think that, I really don't care if he's bisexual or whatever it is. That ain't none of my business. Do you live your life? Live the life you want to live, not the life has told you you should be living. Okay, now let's move on to our next couple. I'm gonna talk about Chelsea and Jimmy. Chelsea and Jimmy ain't gonna work. Okay, even looking at the previews for the next episodes, it ain't gonna work because he ain't into her. Okay, Jimmy is a mess, and I think he comes off kind of like reserved, quiet, but he is messy. Okay, did y'all see when he called Chelsea Jessica in the confessional? Bruh, you ain't into this girl. Okay, to me, Jimmy is the real Shake. He's the real Shake. He's the real villain. But because I think people get used to the Clays, it's easy to label him as the victim because he's your typical, not victim, villain. He's your typical like archetype, physically, mentally as a villain. But really to me, Jimmy is the villain. Jimmy's not into her. It's a facade. You see him over and over trying to convince himself that he's into this woman, but he really ain't. And when old girl Jessica said, "You gonna need an EpiPen because I'm gonna take your breath away," I could tell she is someone who is used to being chosen. Jessica is used to being chosen by her looks, but unpopular opinion, her personality kind of sucks. Okay, she doesn't have a personality to me that you want to build something with because she can be vindictive. She totally shut down once he said, I cannot tell you that I love you. She shut down, but then I think he was also playing games. So you have two people who are not ready for a relationship with each other, let alone other people, because they have issues they need to deal with. But her, I feel like she is used to that, her physical taking her places, but her personality, I don't want to say is damaged, but it's just not likable at times. And it was interesting how she was crying on the couch with the girls. And I'm like, where the tears at? Where the tears at? Because she's gathering all this attention. She has become the victim. People are gathered around her, fawning over her. But I was like, girl, I don't see no tears. So what's it really giving? Is it giving access to? Is it giving cluster B? Is it giving personality disorder? I don't know, but I was like, okay, I see you're vindictive. I see you have black and white thinking. What's really going on here? Okay, because I'm wondering what it's going to be like when he does see her. Because these next couple episodes, that's coming out next week, they're going to be off the chain. Some of these 4 through 6 were a little bit of a filler. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. But Jimmy is not into his fiance. And the way he was fangirling over AD. Now, the body is bodying. Okay, as a woman, I can say that it is stacked. I ain't gonna lie. The body is stacked. The booty be booty and jiggling like Jello. Okay. But he did fangirl all over her in the beginning, but I do think they started to have a conversation that was more about his relationship with Chelsea. But in the beginning, he was fangirling. Okay. I don't think he is physically attracted to his partner. It ain't gonna work. But then Chelsea is insecure about herself. And the fact that she was in this love triangle star thing, she really should have chosen the other guy. I don't know how you choose to marry someone who, to me, Jimmy was not giving what she needed. But then she said yes. And I do believe she said yes because old boy came in first. Now, if the muscle dude had came in, I can't remember all these names, y'all know that already. Now, if he had came in first, she would have said yes. And she should have said yes because he was just constantly loving, doting, giving everything that she needed. But she wanted to be chosen. And Jimmy chose her first. But I think it's going to blow up in her face. It's going to blow up in Jimmy's face because Jimmy is very passive. He gets away with the passive. The people can say like, oh, it's just Jimmy. But behind that is a person who is manipulative, passive, insecure on so many levels. But let's move on, okay? Now, we also have to get Laura and I think his name is Jeremy. They're going to be our boring couple. Last season we had that with, I can't remember her name, but now she's pregnant. They had the Raising Cane's commercial for the Super Bowl. They're going to be our boring couple. We're not going to see a lot of them because for the most part tonight, they happy, they get along. Unfortunately, every season we have a boring couple and they're going to be our couple, okay? Now, let's get to Britney and Ken. My only concern with them is the whole race thing. And I know so many people say, why you gotta make everything about race? Look at me. I can't escape this. I walk around like this all day and I'm faced with different racial issues. So when you look like me, at times race is about everything. So this is Ken's first time dating a white girl. And I'm interested to see how his family, reacts to it, his friends. And I believe they live in the South, so I'm wondering how that will have a reaction and affect their relationship. Or will it be all gravy? Will they have no issues? Because so far in this bubble, they're not having any issues. But I'm curious to see how it goes once they get back to the real world. Okay. Now, let's get to the whole let's meet each other, all the couples meeting together. Okay. Because one of these couples, I think what's the one? I can't remember all these names, y'all. The one who made the comment about the bean dip. Okay. Is it Amy and Johnny? I don't know. But that comment was inappropriate. I remembered the name. Okay, sorry. I be having brain farts. So many things to remember about these shows, my life, my clients. I'm sorry, y'all. But it was Jeremy Let me look at my notes one more time. And I think her name is Laura. Is it Laura? Yes, Laura. Okay, now the bean dip comment was very inappropriate, but she really gives off mean girl to me. Does she give off mean girl to y'all? Because I don't know if she's really that into him or is she into winning. And when she went and told Jessica that Jimmy had told somebody else that he was in love with them, that was wrong. It didn't come off to me from a place of, I care about you, I want to make sure you're okay. It came from a place of being messy. She is messy to me. And I think at some point, I really do think that she's going to get over Jeremy and his jokes. I think that that's only going to last for so long. And I really do think Jeremy should have chosen, I forgot her name, something Ann. But I really think that he should have chose her because they had more of a banter, which he did admit, but he felt like with Laura, he could go deep. And I wish I had shown more of the dates with the other girls so that we could have seen like how much they went in depth with each other. But I think he made a mistake. He's going to realize he made a mistake. I do think some of these couples, I'm wondering once it is all over and done, how many of them are going to go back to the other person. Because some of these people are my plan Bs. Now, Chelsea is a plan B because Jimmy didn't choose Jessica. I think that with Jeremy, Laura is not so much of a plan B, but a little bit, it's giving a little bit of pick me. It's giving a little bit of pick me behavior, okay? I think she wants to be chosen. I think that she is somebody who is messy. She's not a girl's girl. She is very messy, okay? Now, who do I think will actually get married? I think that Ken and his girl is going to get married. Do I think AD and Clay will get married? I think they might get married, but I don't know if they'll make it afterwards. Chelsea and Jimmy. Chelsea should have chose that other girl. Jimmy is the new Shake. So those are just some of my predictions. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think so far? It's been messy and it's only going to get messier. And I'm all here for it. But we can get into all things Love is Blind. Do y'all want me to do some attachment styles? Because, you know, I love that. And I think y'all love it too. So let me know your thoughts. We can get into it. Thank you for watching this video. And I will pop it off and see y'all in the next video. Bye.